I truly believe a capitalist society is better than a socialist one, because a socialist society keeps everyone poor, and socialism always transcends to communism, and then everyone's fucked apart from those truly at the top. And then it turns to socialism for the rich and communism for the poor. I still don't understand these well-off socialists who have gained a lot of money. They're retired, they own their own homes, they've got good flashy sports cars, and they want for nothing, and they've gained all that using the capitalist system, and yet they are desperately online on social media and elsewhere campaigning for a socialist society where everyone else has to queue for their bread and lead miserable lives. They're fine. These people are fucking hypocrites. Now, with a capitalist society, the people at the bottom rung of the ladder, they have an opportunity to climb up. You can start your own business, you can employ people, give them the opportunity to make something of themselves, become wealthy, start many businesses, and those businesses help to grow a country's economy. However, even I believe that capitalism needs to be regulated. The wrong type of capitalism is unregulated capitalism. Unlike socialism, there is only one type of socialism, despite what the socialists and the lefties say, when socialism completely destroys a country from within. And they say, oh, it was only the wrong type of socialism. Let's try it again. Because this is part of the problem why we have a cost of living crisis now. Unregulated rich fat cats who've made their money and they want more. So they're charging people whatever the fuck they like in order to get more money. And there isn't much competition, so, there's no one to compete with them when it comes to rising prices. I mean, look at the supermarkets we have in the UK. We have the big three, Tesco, Sainsbury's and Asda. All right, we've got Aldi and Lidl, but they're small fry compared to them. So the big three, they can charge whatever the hell they like because they only have two competitors. Now, there are many roundabouts here on the roads of Britain, and these roundabouts will sometimes have either two or all three of these big three supermarkets, garages, where people fill their vehicles with fuel. Now, on average, the price of diesel here in the UK is around £1.85 per litre. And if you had three of these petrol garages belonging to the three supermarkets on one roundabout, the difference won't be that much. It'll be around 3p and that's it. And it really doesn't help when these rich supermarket owners then lobby Parliament and MPs and the Prime Minister and the government, etc., to help introduce laws which help restrict smaller businesses. And so that kills off the competition. So when it comes to these energy companies who are giving us energy and fuel for our homes, who are raising their prices dramatically, it just seems like they've got the monopoly on everything and they can charge whatever the hell they want. And it's easy now for everyone to blame the Ukraine for rising prices, where I don't think that's the case at all. So I believe the government should do and must do is provide more competition, and it's healthy. The government should make it cheaply easy for anyone to start their own business and to give them a helping hand. And it should be illegal for these big supermarkets and big businesses to lobby Parliament to stop this happening, to stop competition. And these big business owners, they need to be taxed more, but not to the extent where they feel they have to leave the country and take their businesses with them. However, what must never ever happen again is nationalisation of these services and businesses. Now, I've seen rail fares go up. I've seen literally everything go up. Energy prices going up steeply. But what would nationalisation really do? It would mean that the government and the public own all these businesses and services, but it'll also mean the return of the unions. And the unions are all under the control of insane Marxists and socialists and communists and people who say that they are for the people, but they're not really of the people. They don't really want better terms and conditions for the workers. They want to bring democratic government down. And that's what happened in the 70s. Now, I was born in the late 70s, so I don't really remember the winter of discontent, but I have heard many stories about what a miserable time it was. Rubbish wasn't being collected for weeks, bodies weren't being buried, electricity was being rationed out, and the unions had the government in a stranglehold. They were demanding astronomical pay rises, which the government couldn't afford because the government was already in debt. And the Prime Minister at the time, Jim Callaghan, he had his head in the sand. He had absolutely no idea what to do. So more often than not, the government was bending the knee to the will of these far-left socialist unions. And nationalisation doesn't mean that service runs better anyway. Because even back then, the trains were never on time, just like now. It was just cheaper to use. So people need to think carefully before thinking about nationalisation of public services, businesses, etc. Because that would again bring the country to its knees. But saying that, every time a Western country is brought down to its knees, out of the ashes, a strong right-wing conservative person comes out and saves us, like Donald Trump and the Iron Lady herself, Margaret Thatcher. But seriously, the country can't afford to go through that. We don't want to go through that shit again. And I think the only way to fix all this is to tightly regulate these businesses and companies, energy companies, British Rail, etc. They really do need tighter regulation and stiff penalties, because none of this should be financially out of the reach of anyone, especially in 2022 in a Western nation. So there we go, my 3 principles to help ease the cost of living crisis without having to cross the line into socialism and nationalisation of these services. And that's strict, tighter regulation, threats of prosecution, and cheaper prices with a real price cap. And that's that. That's what I think. That's my video. And for some reason, I need to explain to you, the Drew Barrymore video keeps having the comment removed. It's not me. I've been on there twice now. I've clicked on the allow all comments button. And when I save it, it doesn't happen. So I have no idea what's going on, unless it's someone at YouTube and Google. So I really do apologise for that. You can't really say I'm stifling free speech when literally every other 340 odd videos I've made on here is open to comments. So I'll be fucked if I know what's going on. And that's that. That's my video. Comment, share, subscribe. Have a great day. And till the next time, Roger Trout.